There have never been more possibilities and opportunities than today. We are actually drowning in options. Lot of things to do, but very little time available. That's the kind of complaint that I hear from most of the people. Does this happen with you as well, that towards the end of the day you feel as if I could have achieved a lot more, I could have been able to increase my productivity, or where did I waste my time? If you also keep swinging between different tasks and activities like a pendulum, then you definitely need to watch this video till end so that you come to know what are the quick tips and techniques to avoid procrastination and to manage your time in a most smarter way. Hi there, welcome to Enriching Lives. So today I would be sharing with you some key takeaways from one of the best books on time management, Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. If you are somebody who keeps on procrastinating, who is always swarmed by a lot of activities, responsibilities, who always keeps on struggling between how to complete the task in the stipulated period of time, then I believe you must surely watch this video till end, because in this video I'm going to provide you a summary of the book Eat That Frog. What are the quick tips and techniques to avoid procrastination and to manage your time in a most smarter way. These 21 ways are based on 5 themes. So today I would be sharing with you these 5 themes on which these 21 ways of overcoming procrastination are based upon. So without further ado, let's get started. The number 1 theme is start your day with the most difficult task that you need to complete. Now, according to the author, if you have to eat a live frog, do it in the very first thing in the morning. Complete it in the morning itself. So the first task that you should do in the morning is you finish up eating this live frog so that you always have satisfaction throughout the day that you have completed the most difficult and challenging task. Now here the frog is used as a metaphor for the most likely procrastinated activity of yours. That activity which you are most likely to procrastinate, and at the same time this activity would really bring out the biggest impact in your life. So the activity that is going to impact your life largely and is also at the same time quite difficult, which you keep on postponing throughout the day, and you eventually start with simple activities, right? We generally start our day with simple activities to finish with, and it's a general tendency that we keep on procrastinating on the most difficult task that we have to do. That is compared with a live frog. Also, the author mentions that if there are 2 frogs that you have to eat, start with the ugliest one first, which means that if there are 2 difficult tasks that you need to complete on that particular day, start with the most difficult one. Always go for the deadliest and ugliest frog first. You get that sense of confidence and that sense of satisfaction that yes, I have completed the most challenging task of this day. Now I can very well complete all other tasks that are relatively simpler and easier to do if I compare it with this one. Also, the author tells about how do you find which is the frog that you need to eat in the morning. So that task which is directly related to your growth, your success, would be the frog that you need to eat in the morning. So that would be the first thing that you should do. Also, the author says that do not keep on thinking a lot about how do I eat this frog, because you are never paid on thinking too much and taking the time to take a decision on how do I eat it. So just take action and stop wasting time on thinking too much about it. So how do you eat this frog? Is similar to how do you eat an elephant. One bite at a time, right? Similarly, you need to chop and divide your biggest and hardest task, and then you can finish it off in an easier way. The second theme that I want to share with all of you is goal setting and achievement. So Brian Tracy mentions in his book how much important it is for us to set goals before we start taking actions. Goals actually help you to visualize what is it that you really want to achieve in your life. Well, only 3% of people have clear written goals in front of them, and this is what makes them different. It is a misconception that the 3% of people who are really super successful in life, they have some unique talents. Rather, they do things in a right way. They always have their goals in a clear and a written format. So goals are the fuel in the furnace of achievement. The bigger and the clearer your goals are, the more excited you are in achieving those goals. So he has also provided 7 steps for goal setting. So the number 1 step is decide exactly what do you want. So first you need to have a crystal clear picture of what exactly you expect. Well, there's a saying by Stephen Covey, before climbing the ladder of success, make sure it is leaning against the right wall. So you need to first understand what is it that you want to achieve. Second step, write your goal on a piece of paper. So when you write down your goal, you crystallize it with a tangible form. Something that is not written is merely a wish or fantasy. A written goal, it helps you in taking action. Step number 3, set a deadline. Also do set sub deadlines. So whenever you punch a date with your goal, it kind of gets ingrained into your subconscious mind that this is the kind of deadline that I have set for myself, and you start acting towards it at a quicker pace. Step number 4, make a list of everything that you are going to do in order to achieve this goal. Now this gives you a track to run on. So now you have a formula in front of yourself as to how exactly you will go about it. Now, 5th step is to organize this plan of action by priority and sequencing it on the basis of what are you going to do first and what are you going to do second. You can do it with the help of making boxes or circles. So in this way, you set up a sequence for all the steps that you need to take in order to achieve this written goal of yours. Step number 6. Take action on your plan immediately. An average plan executed vigorously is far better than a brilliant plan on which nothing has been done. So it's very important that you start taking actions. Do something, do anything, but at least start working towards it. And the last step is resolve to do something every day which is related to your goal in life. So never ever miss any day, or never ever be lenient on your plan of action. Always have something planned for every day so that you take little steps towards achieving your goals. So this will motivate you, galvanize you, it will stimulate your creativity and will release positive energy. And because of this, you will surely be able to overcome procrastination. Now, the 3rd theme on which the book is based is planning in advance. So planning is bringing your future into the present so that you can do something about it now. The act of planning and thinking unlocks your mental powers, triggers your creativity. Well, there is a saying, every minute spent in planning saves 21 minutes in execution. So it may take 10 to 15 minutes to plan your entire day, but you can save hours if you invest this much time in planning. So it's very important to plan your day in advance. Always remember the 5P formula. Proper planning prevents poor performance. When you have a plan ready in front of you, you are less likely to procrastinate, as at the back of your mind, you have a set pattern of what all things you are really going to do. And this triggers the mental activities. So you can have a master list, a weekly list, and a daily list of your plans. So in the master list, what you can do is you can write down all your plans that are related to your written goals. Then under the weekly list, you can plan your complete week in advance, and the daily list will have your schedule about a particular day. So what all things you are going to do on that particular day would be mentioned in the daily list. Also take out some time when you go to sleep just to reflect on what all things you were able to do, or how was your day? Was your day aligned with your plan of action? What all things you need to improve so that you're able to completely align your routine with your plan? Now this will really help you to understand where is the time leakage happening, and then you can manage your time in a much more smarter way. The fourth theme on which this book is based is to apply 80-20 principle in your life. This is also called as Pareto principle, after the name of its founder, Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto. This principle says that 20% of the activities that we do during an entire day accounts for 80% of our achievements, and vice versa. So this clearly shows us that 80% of the time whatever we are doing is either not going to fetch us results, or it is really not leading us to a productive life. So you need to figure out which are those 20% tasks in your life that actually fetch you 80% of the results. And this applies in every area of our life. So to understand this principle, you also need to understand the concept of number of tasks versus importance of tasks. You may finish a lot of tasks on a particular day, but the number does not really matter if the task was really not important. So if that particular task which you performed, if that task does not fall under the 20% of those tasks which will account for your 80% of results, well, that was purely a time waster. So you need to identify whether this task will just add on to the number, or is it really important for me to do. Always remember the time required to complete task that provides you 80% of the result, and the time required to complete a task that comes under 20% of the result would be almost the same, but then the level of satisfaction would be really different. So you need to make a list of all the activities. Let's say there are 10 activities. Identify which are those 2 activities that will help you to get results which is more than the 8 other activities combined together, and then prioritize those 2 activities on the top of the list, and then rest of the activities. Don't just focus on eating the tadpoles and the small frogs in the pond. Rather, focus on the biggest frog of your day, and also not only the biggest but the ugliest and the deadliest one. So this will give you a sense of satisfaction. Last theme on which this book is based is prioritizing, delegating and outsourcing. So as I told you, you need to prioritize your activities over a period of time. So how do you actually prioritize? Brian Tracy has shared ABCDE method of prioritization in this book. According to this method, you can assign A to the most productive task of yours, to the task which will give you the maximum results and satisfaction, and also which is the difficult one. And then task B, which will give you comparatively lower results than task A, and C, which will give you lower results than task B, and so on and so forth. So in this way, you can prioritize your task as A, B, C, D, E. So A being the most rewarding task of yours, and E being the least productive and less rewarding task. So in this way you need to prioritize. Also, there would be certain tasks which necessarily should not be performed by you. In this case, you should stop performing those activities from today itself. What you can do is delegate and outsource those tasks to someone who can perform it. See, if somebody else can do a particular job for you, well, that would really help you to manage your time in an efficient way, as it will save a lot of time of yours, and this is not something that you only need to do. So you can delegate certain activities to people who can perform this task. So these are some of the key takeaways from the book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. I'm sure this will definitely help you to overcome procrastination and become productive and efficient person. If you really like this content, do smash the like button, as it really motivates me to create more of such content. I'll see you soon with yet another video. Till then, you take care of yourselves. Bye bye.